But I believe in coloring the world, gotta holler to be heard in time. We can fight back, ready to go right by. To the sky, to the moon, making my skyline brand new. You, you get my heart in trouble.
Hi friends, and welcome back to Lemon Tree Corner. This week in the studio we are making the original squishy project bag from Erica Arndt. I will link this below. It's on her blog, so it's a free pattern. I basically just copied and pasted the pattern. The only thing we're doing different is that she sews the bottom panel as a full panel, which I find hard to get through my machine at that point. So we're gonna cut that panel, add extra for the seam allowance to sew those two bottom pieces together. So very similar to the large project bag we made. In fact, that was based on this pattern. So this is a similar pattern. Only difference here is that we are going to do a little loop on the side instead of handles. So that's the main difference, and this is smaller as well. So let's take a look at a finished one that I've done. So this is one of the ones that I've made. It was too cute to sell, so I decided to keep it for myself. So it's just got a little finger loop, the zipper, and then an interior slip pocket with just a few pockets in there. And of course we're going to sew in our little stitch marker holder. This was the first one I made with the solid bottom, but we're going to cut that in half because it's way easier to sew and get through our machine. And we have a huge box of fabrics to go through. So we've got all those cute fabrics we just got at Joann's. Some of these I have some glitter vinyl to use with as well. Got the doggies. So I'm going to go through, there's way too many of these to make. So I'm going to go through all the fabrics, figure out the order of how I want to make them. We made 7 of the large project bags. These won't take as long. So I think I'll pick out 8 to 10 of these to make, probably more like 8. We're trying to pare back from now on, so I should pick like 8. And we're gonna start prepping the fabric today. It's the last day of my 4-day weekend, so we're gonna start prepping the fabric, get that ready to go so that by next weekend we can start sewing these together. And then I'm just gonna keep the other fabrics for the next batch that I make, and that's probably going to be for next year's. So we're just going to keep those on hold. We also have the leftovers from those sock bags that we're going to make into pencil pouches and coin purses. So I think I'll work on that little by little. We might have to devote a whole week to that later on as we get closer to the yarn crawl, if those haven't been completed by then. But I can start attaching the interfacing and cutting out the fleece and things like that, and picking out the zippers. We are also gonna head to Joann's today to see, my local Joann's has already started discounting fabrics. So I think I'm just gonna have to check every day and see what discount level we're at. We're at 20% yesterday. I'm thinking either because it's a Monday or it's a holiday, maybe they might have dropped it down another, like to 30% off. And then I'll just keep checking because there's a few fabrics that I would like to have that were on the pricier side, so I'd like to see those come down more to be in line with the price I paid for all these other fabrics. My craft guild has started giving suggestions of other fabric stores in the area. They seem a little pricier, but we do have M&L Fabrics down the street from us. It's about 40 minutes away. So a little further than usual, but it's still really close in comparison. So we will go check that out at some point. We were going to look for Hawaiian fabrics over there as well. So maybe we will do that. Although at this point, we've made all the piggies for the craft fair, so that might be a next year project. So I don't necessarily need to get that now. And I film these videos ahead of time, so by the time you're watching this, it will be the actual week before the craft fair. So if you are in the LA area, I would love it if you would come out and see us at the Torrance Craftsman's Guild March Fair. We're going to be at the Ken Miller Center. I'll put all the information up on my Instagram. It's going to be on Saturday, March 15th from 10 to 3. So would love to see you there. We'll have all the recent stuff we've made, the flower piggies and pencil pouches and those cute Ethel bags and everything. So hope to see you there. So if that sounds like a good time to you, go ahead and grab yourselves a water or a cozy beverage, curl up, and let's head over to Joann's. Well, probably one of the last times I'll be here. It's kind of sad. So it looks like seasonal stuff is 40% off. The ones I really like are still only 20% off. So yeah, I might still get some of these just because I don't know how long they're going to be here or if I'm going to be able to come back. I have enough Christmas stuff. It's just kind of like panic buying at this point. And everything else is 20. So it looks like seasonal fabric. If I'm going to come back, maybe I should wait on those other ones as well. Not sure. It's a gamble. Either way. I forgot to mention that I did dye my hair purple, but it doesn't look purple at all. So I'm going to have to order some blonde dye, lighten my hair, and then dye it purple again and see what happens. But we did go to Joann's, so I got this cute little box, which is probably going to be more like a shelf decoration than a box. Got that. I got this cute little guy. I don't know what I'm doing with him yet, but he was heavily discounted. Actually, he was pretty much free with my coupon, so that's good. And then everything was pretty much 20% off, but I did go ahead and get some stuff. This one was 60% off, and I like this blender, so I'm gonna keep that. And then all of the holiday stuff was 40% off, so I got some of those. Maybe we'll make some piggies or something out of that. My niece got me this cute bag. If you see a seam ripper, now is not a good time. I don't really need a bag, and then I was thinking, oh, I can put all my receipts in a bag. Would be nice. So I just transferred all my receipts into there, so that's good. And we're gonna get started. So this is the squishy project bag. There's a full tutorial for this. It's free pattern on her blog. You can just copy all the stuff down. Like I talked about, the only thing different that we're doing is the bottom exterior. We're doing 2 pieces instead of 1, just because it was a real issue for me to try and get the big loop through my machine. So I felt like that worked a lot better for me last time. And we've got all of our squishy bag fabric that we talked about a minute ago. I went ahead and bought the blenders for this already, so I think I am going to make a squishy bag out of this time around, just so that I have 2 of those. This one's probably on the back burner because I have another rainbow fabric that I liked better. This one's probably on the back burner. So yeah, a lot of these are going to be secondary, just because I have a lot of similar fabrics. Okay, so we are working on cutting out the pieces. It's so much easier. They're so much smaller for this one than they were for the last one. So I think, you know, I was kind of basing everything on the larger size bag and how long that took, which is not fair. So we probably won't take as long with all of these bags that we did with the other ones. So I was thinking the blue would be nice since there's already a lot of pink. I don't think having the pink glitter pink glitter vinyl would add much to this. Span the gap there. Yeah, I think that really brings out the cotton candy. So we'll do the blue glitter vinyl. And then we can also do the glitter vinyl as the loop. So yeah, I think I'll do that for that as well. And let's just make sure it's wide enough one of the directions. Yeah, I don't know that I'm gonna have enough of this. I used to buy my glitter vinyl somewhere else and I can't remember, it's been so long. So I just found this place on Etsy that does these little pieces, but they're kind of small pieces. It is zipper time. I'm gonna have to go pick out some zippers. I went back to Joanns. So I also picked up this set of Gutermann thread. I had bought this during the pandemic when all you could get online was this whole set of thread. And this is 40% off now, so I just got that. It has a lot of the colors that I normally use. So that's good. It's just a nice variety of colors and then a couple of grays as well. Okay, since we've been through this before, I think I'm just going to do this one that has the glitter vinyl. So we'll do this one on camera and then I'll do the rest of them. So the problem with the glitter vinyl is it's going to be hard to attach the fusible fleece to. It's also, you know, not something we can iron on. So we can't just do that. What we're going to do is we're going to use some leather tape from that place, the website I was talking about a couple weeks ago, Wawak. Has this cool leather tape, so I use this anytime I've got cork or glitter vinyl that we're using. This was 3 inches, so I'm gonna draw a line halfway through, so 1.5 inches. And we're basically gonna fold to this line, just shy of the line, because we have to take into account, like usual, the thickness of this coming together in the middle. And then we're just gonna lay the tape, find the edge. Neighbors are having playtime in the backyard. So we're gonna lay the tape just shy of there, so we have something to stick to. I'm gonna use my sticky scissors. And we're just going to keep it out. I mean, it's going to be sewn in anyway, so this is going to be a raw edge. To do that, and then for this one and the next one, I've got a different bottom than the lining. So we're going to have 2 different threads going on. I bought 3 different sizes of this tape, but I tend to use the 1/4 of an inch tape for everything. So just if you're interested in trying it, I would go for the 1/4 of an inch. You could also use the Wash Away Wonder Tape here as well. I just do this because this is a product I saw on somebody else's channel. So we are going to fold this almost all the way to the line and just kind of make it as even as possible all the way across like that. And it's going to stick to the tape. Same thing on the other side. I find it easier to fold it towards me. I can just see the line better that way. And I'm kind of tapering off at the end, which isn't exactly what I want there. And then put it together. We're just going to sew it together. So I'm just going to clip it like we normally do and do our stitching on both ends. Oh, that's the other thing we were going to do. We were going to cut a piece off the pocket. So I'm going to have the lining fabric be the top of the pocket, and then we're going to have this be the underneath of the pocket, and that is not the right piece. Did I cut that too short? I think I cut everything short, so this is just a little bit shorter. What we are going to do, we want this little bit to peek out the top of our pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut I'm going to cut a 1/2 inch off the front piece so that that back pretty piece is going to wrap around to the front. And if I had thought about it ahead of time, I would have just done that in the first place. But really, every piece is 6.5 inches tall. It just made more sense for me to cut all the pieces like that. Okay, and you'll see how it's different there. So we're just gonna line them up so it's kind of curved. Just want to make sure that these two edges are even now and that the ends are even as well. So you'll see it's got that little kind of focus, focus, focus. There we go. The convex shape going on there. Well, my new cutting mat is not going to be here for a while. So we're just stuck with this one. I think what I'm going to do when I get the new cutting mat is I'm going to lay it right on top of this one. And then I'm going to use this one whenever I'm cutting the fusible fleece, because that's been part of the problem, is that I keep cutting fleece with that. Okay, so now we're gonna go iron this, and I'll show you that in a minute, but first, we can't iron this. We could technically iron on this side, but we don't wanna risk melting that. So, okay, so it did fold. It's just naturally gonna wanna fold here because the cotton is more pliable. So what we can do is we can either go and iron just shy of this, or we can get ourselves a roller. So this is a quilt roller. This was, I think, Lori Holt from Fat Quarter Shop. I don't know why there's dents in it. Don't know where those came from. But we can roll it, roll it, roll it, which flattens this out. But since it's on the cotton side, we don't really need to flatten it out. If we were trying to fold it the other direction, this would definitely help. So I just want to make sure I'm pulling this so that we've got like a nice line there. And I probably will hit this with an iron. I'll just make sure the iron doesn't go anywhere near that glitter vinyl. So let's go over to the iron. Okay, so we've sewn everything together. You'll see here I stitched in the ditch here. I also added another top stitch here up at the top just to keep it nice and flat. So that's that piece done. And then we've got our exterior and our fusible fleece. And now the only reason this is going to be weird is because of this glitter vinyl. Because we can't iron on the glitter vinyl or we're going to destroy it. So we're going to line this up here. Technically I could press the top part. Yeah, let's do that. Let's press the top part this direction. So we're going to have to flip this over and do it from the back, but even though this is the wrong direction of the fusible fleece, it could still burn itself onto our iron. So we want to use a pressing cloth. Pressing cloths are great. It's just an extra piece of fabric. You could make this yourself. And you just want to lay it flat. And we're just going to put that underneath. Now, since it is the glitter vinyl, it's probably not going to attach that well. I'm probably going to have to go over this several times. And really, it doesn't need to fully attach because we're sewing around this whole thing. So we just want it to not shift around. So I forgot to hit the record button. Okay, so we have used our OTIF 505 temporary adhesive. Let me say it all over again. And we just sprayed the back of the glitter vinyl. And it's not seeping through, it just feels really weird. So, I'm not sure if that's gonna dry nicely. I'm not sure if that's gonna show weird on here. If it is, then I've wasted all the money on this particular glitter vinyl. For some reason, no matter how foolproof I think my pattern is or how many times I made it, I still have this thing where it's like the first pancake. I gotta make the first pancake, see how it turns out, make sure, proof of concept that my pattern, you know, that there's nothing that has to be fixed in my pattern or anything. And then I feel better. The little girl in me is very happy with this one. Okay. And that's it. I could have gone with a rainbow zipper, but I don't have green with rainbow, and rainbow might have been a little too much with the glitter vinyl, but you never know. You never know. Okay, so that's like just the right size. Once it has stuff in it, it won't do that anymore. Very cute with the little handle loop. Yeah, so that's the right size. The zipper tabs worked out great, so that's the right size. And we're all ready to start making them. Okay, the purple turned out pretty well. I lightened it once more and it looks very purple. It's a little darker than I wanted, but I can lighten it up again. The only problem with the purple is that it's worse than the pink in my sink. Like, I really had to scrub ceramic sink. So I'll probably have to use some bleach to get that out. Yeah, I really like it. It's really pretty. I probably just want to do a few rounds of lightening it up. And yeah, so we are going to change out the shelf. We're pretty much getting into March here, and I would like to bring a little spring to the mix. So we'll start with the shelf. Probably the next episode we'll do the board, my inspiration board. But I have a few things that I got at Joann's that I want to add up here. So let's change the shelf. I'm going to take this down because I'm going to start working on this after I'm done with the other project. And yeah, I don't really need it up there. I have to figure out the color order and everything. I think I had my husband put all the spring stuff, all the flowers and stuff, in a box. So we're going to have to put a pin in this until he gets home so we can go find the flowers and everything. I also have a cute bunny rabbit that I want to put up there. So, okay, we've had a costume change and I found the box. So I'm gonna put everything else back up here. I think that's pretty much it. And then we've got our cute little bunny. So put him up here somewhere. Okay, now we're done. I wanted to show you my shawl. And I feel like at this point I need to go back to the Christmas blanket because the Christmas blanket is in that huge basket taking up a lot of room. And if I could finish the Christmas blanket, I could actually put that away. Or, you know, I could put the spring blanket in there. So this is looking good. We've got a whole other skein and a bit to go. So I think that's going to look very cute. Actually goes with my outfit. Friends, so that's it for this week. Let's take a look at all of our bags. So we got all of our squishy bags made. We got the froggies, the beautiful woodland, the interesting swans, the two from last week, and then the bees, the candy with the glitter vinyl, and the doggies. So I'm thrilled to have all of those completed. And while you're watching this, then next week will be the craft fair. So we need to get back into doing the final touches for the craft fair. So next week we will be making the sachets, going through the craft fair boxes, making sure the price tags are all right, and all of that stuff. And then I've got this whole stack of coin purses to make, and I was going to make them for the yarn crawl, but I think at this point it might be a good idea to just make these for the craft fair, because the only coin purses I made were the ones that match everything else. So we got the piggies, the pencil pouches, and the coin purses. that are all those flower patterns, and it might be just too much flowers on the table. So I think I might make this stack for the craft fair, would be a good idea. And then that way I've got plenty of coin purses. It's just a one-day show, but I feel like the coin purses are probably going to sell the best. And since these are last year's patterns, maybe we focus on making matching coin purses with the fabrics, all of these fabrics that we're cutting out for the yarn crawl. So that's the plan. We'll see how far we get. We're definitely making the sachets and doing all the price tags and everything. So we'll see how far we get into the coin purses. We can always just bring whatever we're able to make. So I hope you join me for that. And then the week after that, we'll be doing a recap of the craft fair, and I'll tell you how that went. So if you're in the area, if you're in Southern California and you want to stop by, we'll be at the Ken Miller Rec Center in Torrance, on the corner of Torrance Boulevard and Madrona. So it's right there where the pool is and everything. And yeah, we'll have 100 vendors, about 100 people, plus C's Candy for sale, an opportunity drawing, and a snack bar. So I hope you come out and see us. And if you see us, stop by and say hi and check us out. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead and hope to see you back here next week. Love you, friends. Bye.